space on television. You saw a movie. And it's all documented in history. But we sat there for 4 years while Nancy Reagan ran the country because the man didn't know A from B. I liked him because he was an actor. I did not like him because he was a racist. But when the Alzheimer's hit, he didn't remember being a racist. He didn't even remember being married. So the Alzheimer's kicked his ass. So he got what was coming to him because it was Reagan, when he was governor of California, who shut down the Black Panther Party, for people that don't know, that put us into a rut where every time a black man got a gun, we got to take the guns to the black man, make sure he wasn't using the weapon, and made the law of brandishing a weapon a crime. Brandishing a weapon is part of having a weapon. You got to brandish it. All the shows you see, the rifleman, Gunsmoke, they brandish the weapon. So you don't have to shoot the weapon if you brandish it. Put it down. Show the weapon. And the people go away. That would stop a lot of crime if citizens were able to brandish. But brandishing is a crime. So now, if you're a gun shop owner or a grocery store owner, a liquor store owner, jewelry store owner, you can't brandish the weapon. You only carry the weapon to protect yourself from being robbed with the cash in your wallet or the jewels on your person. If the jewels are in the cage, let them take it. If the jewels are in your person, shoot them. Because it's insured if it's robbed in the cage. See how we got some ridiculous rules here? Who wants to get robbed point blank, period? That's just the dumbest thing I ever heard of. But I ain't going to talk your head off. It's time for us to take a break, and we'll be back with the Black History Minute. You listen to Baltimore's Talking Live. Keep it locked where you got it. We'll be right back. You still there with me, Green?
Yeah, still here.
Yeah, fat out in your seat.
Put my thing on mute.
Yeah, fat out in your seat. So we'll be right back with more Baltimore's Talking Live.
The word real has lost its meaning these days. There's too much fake out there. Real food means fresh food. Fake food means processed food. It's as simple as that. Well, here at Chipotle Mexican Grill, we source the best ingredients that we can find and prepare them by hand. That's real. That's fresh. We're all about preparing food without added colors, flavors, or preservatives. Just genuine raw ingredients and their individual flavors. We source from farms rather than factories and spend a lot more time on our ingredients than many other restaurants. We wouldn't have it any other way. Fake and processed food is never a problem at Chipotle. We have a skilled crew who take the time to use our fresh ingredients to prepare only the best meals to come out of our restaurants. Because that's how we roll. Chipotle Mexican Grill. We do it fresh.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Baltimore's Talking Live with your host, Dr. Q. Co-host is me, Aaron Green. And I want to take you to our Black History Minute. This Black History Minute goes by Whitley Young, Jr., the National Urban League Director. I'm sorry. Whitney M. Jr. was an executive director for the National Urban League in 1961. His tragic and ultimate death in 1971, he worked tirelessly to bring the races together and join the tenets of the social network, of which he was outstanding practicer, to the social activism that brought the Urban League into the forefront of the civil rights arena. Whitney is currently in search of solutions for racism that plagued America and caused black Americans to be recognized as second-class citizens in the land they fought for and died. A reckless advocate for the poor, he visited urban communities and advocated their causes of this nation. He is also close ties with President Kennedy and Johnson, and confided in President Nixon to help shape policies of three major roles: that development and war and poverty. And then he did his march on Washington in 1963. Whitney Jr. Young, this is your Black History Minutes. Now, going through the schedule, it's time for your joke and of the day. Here's my jokes of the day. Hope you'll get tired of them.
So you got the joke? I got one too. Go ahead, let's hear yours.
Okay. What's a Karen called in European? American.
What's a Karen called in American?
No. What is a Karen called in Europe? In American. I don't know if that sticks. I don't know if that sticks. Yeah. Why did a nurse needed red pen at work? In case she needed to draw blood. Get it? Red pen, draw blood?
To draw blood. You can use a red crayon for that.
Why does bees have sticky hair? Because they use honeycombs.
Yeah.
Why did the gym close down? It didn't work out. Get it? Gym workout. Why did the gym close down? Because it didn't work out.
Yeah.
Do you tell if a vampire is sick? How do you tell if a vampire is sick? How much he is coughing? Get it? Coughing. How much he is coughing?
No, that ain't.
Let me see. What did the fisherman say to the magician? Pick a cod, any cod. Get it? Cod, fish, cod. Let's see.
I think cod smell like meat, but maybe that's good.
What? Oh yeah, been cod. Okay. I waited all night to see where the sun would rise. I waited all night to see where the sun will rise. Then it drawed on me. It drawed on me. I don't know the joke. I'm reading these jokes. I don't know. No clue to stick. What did the science book say to the math book? Wow, you have got problems. Get it? Science book says the math book. Wow, you have got problems.
Yeah, math problems.
What did a sign on a out of business panel in brothel say? Beat it, wear clothes. What did a sign on an out of business brothel say? Beat it, wear clothes.
No,
brothel, get it, beat it.
Nope.
I tried phone sex once, but the holes were too small. I tried phone sex, but the holes were too small.
Yeah, that's nasty.
I'm reading these people. Oh, God. What is this? Time flies like an arrow. Fruit flies like a banana.
Now, speaking about that phone sex, they do have this thing called car sex, where people actually put their stuff into the gas tank and actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's something crazy. It will come from because gasoline get on the tip of your man, it'll burn.
Mm-hmm.
But some people are stupid. And if you got an electric car, ain't no hole there. It's a receptacle. And you definitely don't want to play with that. Get that thing in your pee hole. You're a rude awakening. Start pumping buzz like you.
What do you call a fake noodle? An imposter. Fake noodle, imposter. Let me see. What's the best thing about Switzerland? I don't know, but the flag has a plus sign. What's the best thing about Switzerland? I don't know, but the flag is a big plus. Let me see. Knock, knock. Who's there? Kanga. Kanga who? Actually, kangaroo. Get it? Kanga who? Kangaroo.
Yeah, okay.
Where do you find a cow with no legs? Right where you left it. Where do you find a cow with no legs? Right where you left it. God, I'm just reading them, folks. Let's see. Last but not least, knock, knock. Who's there? Train. Train who? Someone needs to train you how to open a door.
Yeah, that one was a good one. Yeah.
All right. You got any, Dr. Q?
Well, I just have some stories where you small pasta. And I was watching an episode of Steve Harvey one day when Steve Harvey took a trip to Africa. And he said, name something that, for Family Feud, he was asking couples. So name something that you would have. Name something that if it wasn't at the wedding, it would cancel the wedding. And the lady said, food. And he said, that's not up there. Steve Harvey said, that's not up there. You don't have food at the wedding. You got food at the reception. So he said, food. He said, so he went down to the next person. He said, name something that if it wasn't the wedding would cancel. So the guy said, pasta. And he said, I just said, you don't have no food at the wedding. You had the food at the reception. And he says, no, pasta, the minister. And Steve Harvey said, oh, you said pasta, the pasta. So I just was cracking up because the accents were hard to understand, and Steve Harvey was just bumbling fool. So I don't think none of those episodes ever aired, but I guess you can find it on YouTube. That was one story that was funny. And his story is a young man, the young pastor was in, or young minister was at church. He heard about a couple that was getting divorced. And the woman was crying about the divorce from her husband. And he says, well, what purpose would you possibly have for divorce? I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it right now, Pastor. I don't want to talk about it. So she left. So her best friend, Julie, came over and said, Julie, do you know anything about Sister So-and-so? Why she's getting divorced from her husband? She said, well, Pastor, all I know is that Did nobody say, have